I headlined Madison Square Garden more times than any individual athlete in the history of the Garden. I'm not talking about team sports like hockey or basketball and that. I'm talking about individual performers. And I'm very proud of that, because I appeared there over 200 times. But now, what made the Garden different from any other arena? Listen, I wrestled around the world too throughout my years. Heck, I did 20 tours of just Japan alone, and Australia many times, and all through South America, all over the place that you travel to. And let me tell you, Madison Square Garden is an arena that was known worldwide. In fact, a lot of the publicity I get, like when I toured to Argentina and Brazil and places, they would say from Madison Square Garden, Bruno Sammartino, Latin. So the Garden was the magic in the wrestling world. And keep in mind, not only wrestling, but some of the greatest championship fights with people like Joe Louis and Rocky Marciano, Walcott, and you name a bunch of those great fighters of yesteryear. Big main boss when all Madison Square Garden. I'm not saying they didn't go elsewhere. Of course they did, just like I did, wrestle everywhere. But it was the Garden where they got the publicity worldwide the most.
Is there any other of those arenas, just to name a couple like I did, like the Baltimore Civic Arena or, Philadelphia Arena or Maple Leaf Gardens, are there any ones that you personally enjoyed other than Madison Square Garden that, whether it was the reaction from the crowd or just the atmosphere of the arena, were there any ones that, in addition to Madison Square Garden, you just love performing in front of?
Well, the Boston Gardens, I can tell you that was enormous. I received that kind of reaction. But to be honest, I was very fortunate. I was very, very lucky throughout my career because I was received especially like I say in the 60s and the 70s, whether it was the Philadelphia Spectrum or the Civic Center in Baltimore or the big arena in Washington, the Capitol Center, or here in my hometown of Pittsburgh or Hartford, Providence, Rhode Island, you name it. All these were all cities with big, big arenas. And I must say that, I was received so well in all of them that I'd hate to pick a couple and leave the others out because they all treated me golden. And then what can I say? And I was very I have great gratitude for those people in all those cities.